Hi everyone, it's me, 𝑦𝒓𝒐𝒖𝒏𝒅. Today is Thursday, December 26th, 2024. This video is dedicated to my beloved, and the topic of this video is going to be about the importance of being somebody who is easy to be around. So in order to illustrate this topic to you today, I'd like to share with you a journal entry from the journal that I'm currently working on. And this journal entry is something that I wrote very early this morning. So as usual, before I read it aloud to you, I'd like to show it to you in case you'd like to read it for yourself. And I will read that aloud to you now. Here it goes. Thursday, December 26th, 2024. We can make life less difficult for ourselves and for others by being easy to be around. I am all too familiar with having to walk on eggshells around certain people. Life is already hard enough as it is. The German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wrote, "Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. There is no more mistaken path to happiness than worldliness. Let us not be the cause of others' sadness." The destructive effects of an ill temper are described as follows in the 1874 address, "The Greatest Thing in the World," by Henry Drummond. We have no balance to weigh one another's sins, and coarser and finer are but human words. But faults in the higher nature may be less venial than those in the lower. And to the eye of him who is love, a sin against love may seem 100 times more base. No form of vice, not worldliness, not greed of gold, not drunkenness itself, does more to un-Christianize society than evil temper. For embittering life, for breaking up communities, for destroying the most sacred relationships, for devastating homes, for withering up men and women, for taking the bloom off childhood. In short, for sheer gratuitous, misery-producing power, this influence stands alone. This is why it is so important for us to have a good temper and to not be easily provoked. How sweet it is to be able to share what is on your mind with somebody without fear of retribution. How lovely it is to know that you will be accepted in spite of the worst of your flaws. The world needs more merciful people. I want to be one of those people. I have been on the receiving end of others' anger, and I know how hurtful it can be. It is particularly hurtful when the anger pertains to something that was out of my control. We should not get angry at people for making innocent mistakes and for simply being human. A mother can be capable of loving her child regardless of how smart or accomplished the child may or may not be. Anger reveals more about the angry person than it does about anybody else. I never want to hurt anyone in the ways in which I have been hurt. I never want to force my will upon anyone. I never want to compel somebody to be something other than what he or she is. I never want to crush anybody's dreams. Instead, I want to build people up, to encourage them, and to help them be all that they can be and more. I want to do unto others just as I would have them do unto me. I want to be a drama-free person with a big heart and a big mind. I want to serve as a source of comfort rather than of fear. I want to be easy to be around always. So that is my journal entry from very early this morning. And while I was writing this journal entry, I was thinking about how having people who are easy to be around us makes life so much easier, and it makes it so much easier to get through the difficulties that are an inevitable part of being alive and of being human. And we all know what it's like to be around people who are not easy to get along with. It's not so fun, and it tends to cause added stress over on top of all of the stress that we already have. So by sharing that journal entry with you today, I wanted to encourage you to start with yourself and to start with the person looking back at you in the mirror, to be somebody who is easy to get along with and somebody who can serve as a source of comfort for others, somebody who others will come to for encouragement and comfort in times of trouble, rather than somebody who other people will run away from or somebody who will cause trouble to other people. And there are many ways to be like this. There are many ways to be somebody who is easy to be around. And one major way is simply by being non-judgmental and recognizing that we are all human beings who make mistakes and we all have flaws. Just look at yourself and think about yourself. Think about all of the mistakes that you have made, all of the failures, all of the imperfections in your character. We all have them. And we have to be honest with ourselves and admit that we ourselves are not perfect. And when we do that, we are able to accept and understand the flaws of other people much better. And when we do that, other people will be a lot more comfortable around us because they will know that we won't judge them when they are around us. They will feel like we'll be there to support them and to help them along when they're going through a difficult period in their lives. And it takes a lot of humbling in order to become this way, in order to become somebody who is easy to be around. And we have to reduce our level of pride in ourselves, level of pride in how accomplished we think we are or how perfect we think we are. We have to recognize that each of us is just a human being, just like all of the other human beings on this planet. And that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be more humble, and I'm trying to be somebody who is easy to be around and easy to get along with, and somebody that others will feel comfortable talking to. Because I definitely know from personal experience what it is like to be afraid of somebody, to be afraid of speaking my mind and sharing my emotions with somebody because of the fear of being criticized. And I don't want to be like that myself, because I know how hurtful it can be when somebody criticizes you and doesn't accept you for who you are. So I hope that by sharing this message with you today, I am able to encourage you to try to be somebody who is easy to get along with and easy to be around. We need more such people in this world, and it is very difficult to come across such people in this world nowadays. So why don't you start with yourself and start with the person looking back at you in the mirror. Work on yourself and try to be somebody who has a good temper and is easy to be around. I hope that you have learned something very valuable from my video today, as always. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to and or watch. And with that, I'd like to wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world.